right? So if you go to naver.com,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, ditc.naver.com, it's going to show up like this. And
EICT. Okay.
here, there are different options for the type of dictionary. 전체 검색 means searching everything, like
Mm-hmm.
all at the same time. I would not suggest that. It shows you too much. 영어 means English.
Mm-hmm.
국어 means Korean. So like
Korean.
if you put in a Korean word, it'll give you the definition.
Yeah.
Then there is Hanja. So we're going to click on Hanja, which is calligraphy. And you wanted to do Anyang, right?
Anyang.
Well, Anyang is the name of a city in Korea.
Korea.
Okay. So if this, I'm just going to look through the definitions because Anyang can be written in multiple different ways, depending on the type of Chinese calligraphy, depending on the concept that you're speaking of. So
Mm-hmm.
here's another one. Just give me 1 second. You know, all right. So first, I'm just going to start here. This gives you three different definitions for this particular spelling.
Mm-hmm.
So this first one is an,
Mm-hmm.
and this second one is yang. Now, if we look at the first definition here, 마음을 편안히 하고 몸을 쉬게 함. This means like to bring comfort to the spirit and to rest one's body.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say anyang, that those are the concepts that it's. Now to give a little bit more to this, you see this word 편안,
Yeah.
편안하다. It mean like comfort, relax,
Mm.
comfortable, relaxing, that kind of concept.
Mm.
Right?
Okay.
So this an is the same concept or the same an here. It's written
Mm.
the same, it's the same concept. Now, this brings us to another point in Hanja. If you know a lot of calligraphy, you can figure out a Korean word without knowing the definition. Let's say I did not know the definition of it. Hanja, it's my first time seeing it. But I have an idea of what pyeon means, and I have an idea of what an might mean. There are several definitions, but I say, okay, maybe this an is the an related to relaxment or relaxation and comfort. And
Okay.
so I'm going to surmise that 편안하다 has to do with the concept of comfort. And then I actually look it up, and lo and behold, it means that.
Okay.
So that is the power in knowing Hanja, in knowing a lot of, even if you don't know how to write or read, like I don't know how to write or read this, but there are many words that I can pick up the meaning of because each piece I know what it means. Let me give another example. Um, Nowadays, I'm listening to Trump's inauguration because it has been interpreted simultaneously by like 4 Korean TV stations. So I'm using it to study, like to learn the different vocabulary and see how
Oh my
other
God, I'm
interpreters.
so sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, me
it's
too.
okay, but it's good study. It's like a very good study resource because it's not easy to come across material like that. But there is a particular word when he is talking about establishing the external revenue service. And the word establish for like a new facility is 신설하다. I had never heard of this word before, but one of the interpreters, I heard them use this word, but I could already pick up on what it means. Why? Shin means new,
Uh,
new, the concept new. It could be a new building, a new life, new, opportunity, and so on and so forth. Seoul can mean to like establish. Both of these concepts you can see in different words. For example, Shin is in the word Shingyu, which means new. And it is also in the word Beishin, which means renovation. Yeah, kind of like renovation of a country. Then this word Seoul you can see in case I might have that spelling wrong. 설하다, 설계하다, which means to design. 설계하다, to design,
Cool.
and so on and so forth. So I heard this word for the first time being used, but based on context clues, I could gather the definition. It mean like to establish a new facility. That's how Hanja is. So once we get into conversation junkies, that's where we start to explore more and more.
Mm. Mm.
Back to I believe this is the definition that we're looking for. I say that because right here, Dang Idam, you guys know Idam, right? It means
Name?
Name, no.
it means land. So
Oh,
basically, the first definition is name of a land.
yeah.
Then down here, it talks about like you see Idam again, and you see things like Gyeonggi-do, which is the province.
Province, this, yeah.
Korea, 남양주에 있었던 제영현의 고려 초기 이름. So
Yeah.
here it's talking about like in Koryo Shide, in the Koryo era, there it's a name. And a name of what? A name of a tang. So it doesn't really give a definition here, but it refers to a land.
Okay.
This it could also be this one here. So these definitions refer to just name of a land. So it's probably written by one of those ways. However, if you want the definition of the word anyang, what concept it actually means outside of like just the name of a land, then you'll find that up here, like what I was saying.
Okay.
아무 편안히 하고 몸을 쉬게 함 means to relax the spirit and to rest the body.
Okay.
So maybe when our Korean ancestors were giving the name to Anyang, that is perhaps what they felt when they were there on that land because of the peace and the tranquility that being on that particular ground offered them.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that is the Hanja dictionary in Naver. Again, so this one is the fourth one over where it says Hanja, and then you'll have to type in the Korean for which the Korean for which you want to find the Hanja definition.
Okay.
So do students learn Hanja in school?
Yes. Nowadays, it's becoming less and less learned. Kind of like nowadays, they don't teach kids cursive in school.
Yeah.
Like, except Hanja is way more complicated. But normally, or let me ask, generations that were growing up like, all the way from up to the 80s, maybe the 90s, as a basis, you were learning Hanja in school. And for that reason, it was very embedded in society. Nowadays, it's kind of been funneled out and out. And there's this kind of Like there's this notion where it's like the younger generation, they like don't know anything. 'Cause they don't know Hanja.
Mhm.
Whereas before Hanja will be in newspapers.
Mm.
Today, like nowadays, if you look at the Yoon Suk-yeol's trial, like if you go to NBC or KBC on YouTube, you'll see Hanja on the news headlines. It'll be
Mm.
there. So even though the era has changed in like very government settings, or like when you have public service workers, like those tests in order to get into those positions have a lot of hunting.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the like I don't know, Jenny, were you looking at like your adoption paperwork or something? Is that what the Anyang came from?
Oh, well, I mean, that's supposedly where they tell me I'm from, but I don't think any of it's true, but that's where they tell me I was found. So
Mm,
yeah,
mhm.
Anyang. So I just was asking because we were like Anyang Hateo, and I was like, is that because Anyang is how is being well, right? Or something like that, because you were telling somebody. So I just wanted to know if Anyang City was named after like being well. So
Yeah, yeah, and that's actually what it is. And then also, if you once you get to this point, you can take this and then stick it in a. You can ask someone, or you
uh
can stick it in a translator if you don't know what this means.
okay. Yeah. I mean,
So,
I used Naver, but I didn't know that it did this. So yeah. Okay, that's good to know.